What up, Curtis?
Good, bro.
Thanks for sitting in the chair. Are we doing the same haircut?
Yeah.
Cool.
The usual.
Gotcha. So Curtis, everybody knows you as a linebacker for the 49ers. Who are you off the field with your helmet off?
It's a good question. As of late, I would say that, I've really leaned to a role of being a philanthropist, especially in the Bay Area. Worked a lot in Oakland and in the South Bay. But aside from that, I identify as a son and a brother within my family. And then I'd like to pretend I'm an avid golfer in the off seasons, but other than that, I just love music. I think that's the other thing that I really identify with is music.
Oh yeah, music, golf,
all that.
And the community. That's a pretty dope.
My big three.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool identity to be like outside the helmet, man. Like, I know you mentioned it, like being a part of the community. Like, you think that's something that's personal to you, or is it because of like the platform that you have now? Is it something that like you just really want to give back?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a combination for sure. I was lucky in high school when I first joined my team to get introduced to community service. We had an event every year in the summer before fall camp called Monarchs for Marines. We would go to Camp Pendleton and we would do a football camp and a day for all the kids of the parents who were stationed there. And that was really my intro to it, and I kind of fell in love with just the idea of giving back to a community no matter how small. And then that kind of evolved at Stanford. We did Children's Hospital visits, Read Across America days, and now being here, I was exposed to even more opportunities with our Community Tuesdays and just seeing guys like Aziz and Eric over the years and how they gave back to the communities both here and in their hometowns. And so it's kind of just been a natural progression for me, honestly. My sense of community really came, from my family, but really more so the teams that I was a part of as a kid growing up, playing multiple sports. That was always really my sense of community in my hometown, and my sense of giving back really developed more so, I would say, like I said, when I got introduced to it in high school, and now that I'm with the Niners, the way that they're so focused on giving back to the local community, I think that I've really just enjoyed seeing that, like I said, as a young guy, and I've really leaned into it recently.
Congratulations one more time for being nominated Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Appreciate you, bro.
For the team. This time around, like, has it hit you differently than the first time, or is it something that, like, I don't know, is it bigger this time around being nominated two times?
It's definitely a little bit different this year. I think having been in that role last year, the shock value of getting it for the first time was obviously a really special thing for me. So it's kind of hard to mimic that feeling. But I think being where I was last year, doing my rehab for most of the season and having to, enjoy the Walter Payton moments still injured, I think I can appreciate it a different way this year, being a part of the team and, being around my teammates in a playing role. And to also be able to be recognized like that off the field, it's pretty special for me because I've been so focused on the stuff on the field this year in a more intense way than I was last year that it was a cool little, break away from the football side to be able to experience that at my event.
With the grant you got last year, you used that to donate and opened up a mobile barbershop.
Yeah.
Why did you choose a mobile barbershop, like, for the kids?
It really started with the work that I've done with Mobilize Love and Christian, which I have to give a shout out to. He's really the main person that helped, bring that idea to life, and he did an amazing job. We just recently did our first event with it, and it was a huge success, so I really have to give a huge shout out to him. But I think seeing the way that his mobile services have impacted the community in the city and even just in, the South Bay in general, it kind of was a no-brainer for me that I wanted to collab with him on the project. And as far as why I chose a barbershop, I think my main mission was, just finding a way to give kids and anyone who was in need of a haircut the opportunity to experience, the feeling of wellness and the feeling of dignity that I always get, when we have these moments and I get my pregame haircuts. There's really no feeling like coming out of the barber's chair and feeling, fresher than when you walked in.
Yeah.
And I think that so many people,
like confidence,
100%,
too.
and I think that so many kids miss out on that opportunity just from a resources standpoint, that I just wanted to be able to give them an opportunity to to have that feeling, whether it's once a week, once a month, just, for free, I think it makes a huge difference. And seeing the faces of the kids getting their haircuts with you guys at that event, it made my day, because that was exactly what I was picturing.
I think like an impact is as little as making sure, you look good, feel good,
Yeah.
at least for you, play good. I think that impact alone for just anybody is just a great self-esteem. I think the energy that I feed off of the clients and vice versa, like it helps me make me feel like I'm doing like what my purpose sometimes in life is, just making sure I can help anybody like any way I can.
Definitely. I'll never forget, the feeling I got getting out of the chair when I got my first fresh fade. I think I was like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. So,
and it's a core memory.
Yeah,
There's
to be able to share that.
Like with just the atmosphere of just getting a haircut, especially at that community event. Like you saw all those kids like, yo, your haircut is
They got
fresh.
to deal with
like
their friends and everything.
Yeah, and it's cool.
Awesome.
It's just they're sharing core memories that like I feel like they'll always like remember together too.
Definitely.
So Gillette focuses on the best a man can get. What does that mean in your world when you give back?
For me, it really started with focusing on earlier in my career, as I was getting older, figuring out ways to become the best version of myself, so that when I was in the world with my family or now within the community, I could be the best version, so that I had the most to offer to those people. And I think that over the years, especially these last 2 years, it's meant a lot to be able to have such a big impact. And I think I've spoken with, Aziz about this a lot over the years. I used to never think that as an individual I would even have an impact at all, especially at whether it's community events and an organization this big. There's just so many moving pieces. You never know what your role is really going to be as an individual. And I think that as I've gotten older, I've realized that all it takes is the smallest effort to help someone that may be in need. And I think that once I realized and learned how long just the smallest effort can go, it kind of helped me take off in a different way as far as just confidence and, even just having impact in the community as well. And I think that trying to instill that message to the kids that I work with has been really important for me, to try to convey that message and help them understand, like for me, that's how I felt as a young player. And now I feel completely different, and I don't see any reason why you can't feel that way in whatever your endeavors may be. So it's definitely been cool for me to have that progression as an individual, but then to be able to convey that message to others that I work with as well.
And just inspiring others to kind of just use their platform to just give back and just make an impact, that I feel like is what you're doing too.
Yeah, for sure.
Great leaders like do the work with their people instead of just telling them what to do, right?
And it's funny because I feel like I've been around so many guys who are lead by example guys throughout my career, and to be recognized as someone that now is the lead by example guys, it's a cool full circle moment for me, because I've been blessed to be around some all pro guys, both character wise and talent wise, and I think that to be regarded in that realm it's really special for me, for sure.
So when your career's over and you're done playing football, how do you hope people in your community say about the impact that you made, about you, Curtis, and not just playing football?
It's become more and more important to me as I've gotten older and further along in my career. What you asked, how people view me more as a person than they do as a player. When I was younger, I was so laser focused on trying to be remembered as a great player, and I was so just hyper focused on trying to be the best player I could be. And I think as I've gotten older, I've developed so many good relationships with teammates over the years that for me it's really important that not only them but the people around us remember me as a great teammate first and foremost. Whether I would have played 0 snaps or 100 games in my career, like just the way that I operate as a teammate and as a friend within this building, or any building that I'm really in, is super important to me. And then as far as how I'm remembered, within the community, I think I've really started to feel that impact already over these past couple of years. I just really want to be known as someone who's there and was willing to show up. When a lot of other people aren't willing to show up, I do want to be remembered as someone that was consistently able to show up and wanted to be there. Not because I had to be, because I was passionate about providing equal opportunity to anyone that I felt needed it and didn't necessarily have access to it. And if that's how I can be remembered, that'll be plenty for me.
I think you're doing a great job, bro. I think the impact, even just like our relationship, like I know what a great guy you are and the things that you're willing to do, and you just want to show it for people, at least for the people that you care about, and you care about a lot of people, especially in the community. So like, I just want to say thank you. You know, I want to give you your flowers and just like the impact you made on myself and the relationship we as like, you know, friends and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, man, I feel like you're doing a lot and you deserve all the credit, D.
I appreciate it, for real.
So what does it mean to be cut different?
It's kind of a hard question, honestly. I think probably a different answer for everybody. People probably view that differently. I think from a football standpoint, the ability to persevere for me personally throughout my entire life, whether it was through injury or just, you know, hardships within the sport, I think that's something that a lot of us possess. But I think as far as, you know, when you get to this level, that's something that's allowed me to, you know, maintain my career and get to the point that I have. But I think just in general, my integrity and my character are things that I pride myself on, and I think that, you know, so many people do, but it's something that I've, you know, now been recognized by my peers for, and I think that, you know, I do take an immense pride in that. And so, like I said, to be able to be recognized in that way is really important for me. But as far as being cut different, I think that's really what means most to me.
There's only one you, man. I think just you gotta take care of you, and I think you've been through a lot, just injury-wise too, and just how you bounce back, and then even in the position you're in, you know, not a lot of people get it, and I think I see the gratitude in it. And yeah, man, I'm just super happy for you, man.
No, I appreciate it. It's crazy to see how not only our relationship, but just the journey in general has, you know, transpired. But I'm grateful for it all, for sure.
Same.
I'm Curtis Robinson, and this is Cut Different, presented by Gillette.